I was freezing my butt here in the garage. So I got this. This is a diesel heater from vevor. This is it. Very, very nice design. Everything is in one box. It has a remote, a digital screen. Diesel goes in here, which I have to go and buy. It requires power over 15 amps. That's 200 watts. That's a lot of power. Mostly because it needs to start. So it needs to ignite the diesel, and after that. And it looks like under here is where the exhaust is gonna work from. This company has pretty good manuals. Let's see how this works. Here you have a silencer and you have this metal tube. It's very, very important because this is gonna be the exhaust. So the exhaust gases will come out, and this has to be on the outside. If you don't put it on the outside, you die. So you get the intake pipe and the air filter element. So it doesn't let big stuff get in. You got everything that you need for it to connect everything, so you could tighten it up. So this one in the garage position where I'm gonna put it, it has to be somewhere where it's on an exterior wall, and I need a hole about this big to be able to pull this one out. I always recommend to fully test it before you install it, because this needs to be mounted, so you have to drill holes and stuff like that. So you wanna make sure you don't have a defective unit in the box. You have to bring it outside, 12-volt battery hooked up to the 2 wires, exhaust under, intake in. The exhaust is coming out. I just put it on this ladder for now, and then we're gonna add some fuel and see what happens. Well, it takes a little bit over a gallon on.
Start heating.
So it just said start heating. Okay, let's make it really nice and hot. See what happens. The display, it's nice. I'm waiting for the pump to start pushing diesel in. It's literally so easy because everything is already assembled. So because everything is assembled over here, it's so easy to work with. All you have to do is just make sure that you have your exhaust out and then your intake, and then you mount this on and test it out before you're ready to mount it in a permanent position. But so far, very good. There is a little clicking noise. It just started. You can hear it, all the fans are revving up. And it's starting to put warm air in. The hot air is going both ways. So this one is really hot over here. So wherever you're gonna put this one is like even here, like at the distance over here, I can barely keep my hand. So there's a lot of heat that this one is putting out also this way. But very hot air coming in here too. So you could clearly feel it. Well, you could feel it. This is gonna heat up the garage in no time. So we know it works. I'm gonna turn it off. Let's see how long it takes before it actually cools off. So right now it's turning off. And with the way that it smokes right now, I just realized that instead of making 2 holes for intake and exhaust, I'm just going to make 1 hole that's gonna bring cold air from outside, but then warm air inside. So it's tricky because if you put it inside, then you suck in the air and you only have to warm up from whatever temperature you have at that point in the garage or car or heat or whatever you're gonna put this heater in. But if you put it outside, then you're gonna pull in cold air. But this has to be outside. Even though this is the intake, right now I turned it off and then it's fumigating a little bit. So this one definitely has to be outside. That one also has to be outside. The way that the heater works is that it draws air from here and then it pushes through here, through the heating element, which is here. If you draw cold air from the outside, you're gonna put hot air inside. Now this one is fairly efficient, but it's not gonna be as efficient as drawing hot air from the inside that is already warmed up and heat it up even more. So if that's the goal, then this should be inside, but this has to be outside because this is the intake and the exhaust. Even intake fumigates a little bit when you stop it, so these have to be outside. So at that point, you need 2 holes in the wall, this outside, that outside. So in the wall of the car or the engine of the garage or wherever you're gonna put it, and this one either mounted inside or 1 big hole like this, and then have it draw air from the outside towards the inside. It's always an option. While it's cooling off, it's pretty cool that it has a remote. So with the remote, you could turn it on and off and you could raise the temperature. Here you could see a screen. So having the screen inside would not be a bad idea. So that's actually a very, very good option. Also, you could hear the pump, you could hear the fans, so having it on the outside, it has its own advantages. Now the logistics of putting it together, it's there for me, but as I said, 1 gallon tank, you have a clear sight over here to see how much fuel you have through it. You're gonna need access to this. Also, you're not gonna have any gas smell if it stays outside, or diesel smell. This one closes pretty good, but you never know. So the way that you're gonna do it is gonna be completely your decision. You have to sit down, think before you install it, because each one has its own advantages. But really, really nice diesel heater, I have to admit. It's easy to put together because it's basically assembled. All you have to do is just make sure that you bring the hoses out, and everything else is just logistics behind.